Hey, Captain Chronic. So I've taken a look at your site and I do tons of audits like this, so I figured why not just do one for you while I'm floating around and recording stuff. So there's some stuff that I found that I think will help you make more money pretty quickly and alleviate some of the problems that you're seeing. What I usually do for these reviews is I go through an audit of doing some speed testing and making sure there's no technical issues on your site, and then go through the like motivating factors and friction and anxiety and some of the other psychological prompts that get in the way of people purchasing. And there's a best practices list. I haven't gone through the whole thing. I've just kind of gone along and noted down some issues that I saw on your site, and there's quite a few of them. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'll give you kind of a high level overview. So first thing to note is your site's not super fast. That may just be because I'm in Australia and you're in the UK. But there's some stuff that I would clean up personally to make it faster. Like my experience was it kind of loaded slow and there's some big animations and crazy other stuff. Like I can see that you're running WordPress and using GSAP to do animations, which is cool, but that can slow down your performance. But the thing I noticed is that you're passing Core Web Vitals on mobile, but not desktop, because there's not enough desktop traffic, which means that you're seeing a lot of mobile views, but your site isn't very well optimized for mobile. So that's probably the first thing to check out. But let me tell you the biggest things that I found, or your biggest opportunities. So number one, optimize for mobile. So look at your product pages. Like go check out your product page on a mobile device and have a good hard look at it to see what the experience would be like for someone who wants to purchase one of these modded controllers. So I come in, I'm like, this looks cool. First thing I see, extended warranty. Like, is that the most important piece of information to pitch someone on when they first come into your site? Also, I don't know what my screen's doing. It might be my green screen. All of the green text on your site goes black. So the hierarchy of this page is not amazing. Like warranties are great, but you don't need to give them the fine print here. Like when you look at heat maps of how far down a page customers go, the drop off from the first fold to like the third fold is significant. You'll see kind of like maybe 20% of people make it this far. And that's just like, that's making it down to add the basket. So in a nutshell, there's way too much content here, and the content you're pitching is not the most important stuff. Like you need to tell customers why they should buy this thing. Like what is it going to do for them? What are the benefits of this product? Why is it awesome? I don't want to skip too far ahead. Oh, product variation. So this one's not too bad because there's only one option here, but I looked at another one where there was like 4 or 5 things that I had to go through. These are not designed well for mobile. Like this doesn't stand out, and there's validation that is firing. Like prompting someone to add the extended warranty before they even get down to adding this to the cart is no good. And typically people expect to see their like the product name up the top. So the visual hierarchy should be, I would remove this sale because it's super distracting, and probably rework the navigation a little bit, but have the name of the product up the top. Product images look great. That part's good. Have the price. And then the most important details of the product, like the specifications, some selling points and reviews. Like there's no reviews on your page at the moment, which may just be because you don't have reviews, but if you don't, I would be chasing them hard. Like put reviews on here, put user-generated content on here, show people that there are legitimate use cases for these mods and other people love them, to create a bit of a sense of, fear of missing out. The next part is like the rest of this content. So keep in mind that a lot of your customers will be viewing on mobile, and like this image here is too small. It's not readable, and like once you get down to here, it's just a wall of text. Like people aren't going to read this, and it doesn't mean anything to them, and it's just too much. There's just too much load here. You need to keep it simple. Like we get down to the features here, which is kind of cool. I would still say this is way too much content. And I would be pushing these to the top of the page. So the order should be headline of the product, images of the product, reviews, features, benefits, and then right down the bottom some of this stuff. And I kind of miss like giving them the options to do the product variations. I'll just see if I can find a different one. See if I can find one that has, I'll try this one, see if this one has more variations to it. Because the product variations I think are having a pretty, maybe not that one. I'll jump back into, actually, you know what? I found one that had like 3 or 4 different options and it's just too much. Like on desktop, it doesn't look too bad, but on mobile, it's no bueno. So that's one big one. The next one, so your filtering like collection system is, it's like forcing people to have to pick through your collections just to get to the product page. So you need, what I would recommend, you shouldn't, saying this in an absolute term is dumb, but what I'd recommend is giving people a way just to get into the product line straight away. So rather than saying, okay, I want to check out your controllers, and then what your site is saying is, okay, well, I know you want to look at controllers, but you have to pick one of these things first. And I'm like, well, I don't know what any of these things are. Like the Carnage mod, Chaos mod, none of this doesn't mean anything to me. So I'll just click on this one. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't really want any of these 3. So what do I do from here? How did I get it to it before? So you can get in here, right? So now I'm into full customs. So now I'm kind of into the page where I wanted to be originally. So you're making it harder than it needs to be for customers to get in and view all of the products. And I would imagine you'd see a pretty high bounce rate on this page and this page. So yeah, I'd just get rid of, like, I'd not necessarily get rid of these pages, but I wouldn't force customers to go through here. I'd give them a much quicker way to get there. So I'd even have a call to action in the middle of your hero section that gets people straight onto the product page, and then give them a way to use filters to find what they're looking for, which if I go back through that process, one other thing, in terms of visual hierarchy, which is kind of where your eyes jump on the page, checkout is what I see here. And then I see these like cool logos. So there's a lot to be said about keeping your design simple. Like, I think your design looks great, and I think whoever you worked with did a good job, but it's very visually complex, and that's not a good thing for e-commerce. Like, it's a good thing for looking sweet, but it's not a good thing for conversion rate. So I would accompany checkout, the word checkout, with like what this mod actually is, like the name of the mod below it. It can have the logo and it can have this animation thing, but just like tell people what it is and give them just a brief description, because even though you know what these lines are, you shouldn't assume that your customers do. So where was I? In here. Okay, yeah, so there's heaps of products. I would give people a way to filter products. Like, they expect to be able to filter through this section. Sorting is great. I would sort by best selling. Is that an option? No. So have best selling as your default option, because you want to kind of fuel the fire to get people in here and kind of purchasing what other people are purchasing. But yeah, having filters is kind of a necessity in this day and age. People expect to be able to find what they're looking for without having to browse through all of the product range. Okay, that's a lot. Oh yeah, search could use some attention too, but I won't go into that. Okay, final thing, and this is something that I see like all the time with niche e-commerce stores, is you pitch, you're telling customers what you have rather than selling them on what they want. So what I mean by that is, these controllers are awesome, and there's totally a reason why someone who is playing a lot of Xbox would want to go and buy a customized or a modified controller. But you need to pitch the benefits. Like, why should someone care? Why should they come and spend money with your product? So you're telling them what you have and you're showing them the products, which is cool, but there needs to be a section down here that kind of tells them the benefits of using this product. Like, why is this better than just having a regular controller? What's the reason why someone would want to pay money for a modified controller? Like, do they want to show it off when their friends come around? Like, is this their life and they're ready to splash out on something that makes their gaming setup like more immersive? Like, is this part of their battle station and like they can't really complete their battle station look without a modified controller? There's going to be some benefit to them, and telling them like early on your homepage and on the product page will get them further down the purchasing journey. So that's kind of like, that's a bit of a wrap up. You do need to, like, this kind of goes with the same flow, but telling a story about, that connects the customer's needs with what you're providing would help get them to purchase. So they're the big things I see. Like, in terms of priority, reworking your product page for mobile would be completely at the top of the list. Like, the product variations and the way that you have to interface with your website to get a product into your cart has tons of friction, and it's not simple. So I would look at trying to make your site as simple as possible. Like, even if you leave the design as it is, just go through on desktop and mobile and ask yourself if each step of the process is necessary or if it's simple or too complicated. And if you can streamline and make it easy for people to get products into their cart, then I think you'll have a much better time. There's a ton of other stuff that I would touch on, especially around your navigation and some of the design choices, but I've already taken 11 minutes, so I'm going to finish this video up here, but good luck.